our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. There's something wrong with that.
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
In the red pill movement, I'm bemoaning the fact that if you bought a girl dinner for 3 times, she should have sex with you. Well, hold on a second. So you're actually selecting, therefore, a trait amongst women, which is of promiscuity. But on the other hand, you want to find a girl who's virginal and pure and chaste to marry. How are you going to get her if you're promoting the exact antithesis of the qualities?
Schrodinger's female.
She's both virginal
and highly sexually available to
no, sexually available to men simultaneously. So they don't exist. The way they phrase it is, well, women should be pure, but men don't have to be pure because that's how biology is. That women should be looking for a partner to settle down with and get married, and men should be able to sleep with whoever they want. And this is where the green pill and the red pill significantly diverges. The red pill puts a lot of onus and pressure upon women to be traditional, and they say that they are going to be a traditional man, but they define traditional men as men who will protect and provide, they say. But actually, that's not all there is to being a traditional man.
Well, yeah.
Or being a religious man, which is actually the key apex here.
I love that. Schrodinger's female was amazing. If you look up the Schrodinger's cat experiment, where he put a cat in theoretically speaking, he puts a cat inside of a box. He puts an isotope that's going to degrade and release a gas. And the question becomes, is the cat dead or alive? Right? Over time, the only way to find out is to cross the vector. And crossing the vector just means opening the box to see. Because while the box is closed, both ideas are true. The cat is alive because the last time we saw it, it was alive, right? And we don't know if it actually died until you cross the vector by opening the box to see. That's very interesting that we want the woman to be chaste, but not really. Schrodinger's female. That was quite clever. But back to what I was saying about Neville Goddard and his breakdown of, the conscious masculine and the subconscious feminine. Scripturally speaking, they say the subconscious is the servant of the conscious. In other words, the feminine aspect of consciousness is the servant of the masculine aspect of consciousness, which is the conscious waking mind. But many people have misinterpreted, because even the scriptures will say, not a servant as in, you could tell them what to do, you can manipulate, not that way, right? A servant in the sense of a genie. If your thoughts are clear with regards to your purpose, a woman can help manifest it because she is the physical manifestation of manifestation. This is why matrix, mother, matter, soul, alma mater, all of this stuff, you see what I'm saying? All of this stuff, all of these words come from the same root. A woman is the physical manifestation of manifestation, which is why she's the vessel that gives birth. But she doesn't give birth to just children. She gives birth to purpose. And if a man is clear, he can direct her energies of manifestation. It doesn't mean she's his servant. And if you study the ancient stories about the genie comes from the Arabic word jinn, which is demon. So you don't want to play with her because she can show you her demonic side. She's not, the subconscious of the mind is not to be toyed with. Do you understand? But because we've misinterpreted the metaphysical and the esoteric breakdowns of what these books actually meant, right? We think our woman, follow my lead, woman. Don't I protect you? Don't I feed you? Do as I... That's not how it works. You're an LDE, bro. Little ick energy is our topic tonight. And we're on fire. This is great. We got callers from all over the country. And I want people to talk to me, man. I want people to talk to me. I got them in here now. Let's go. John, Mountain View, Hawaii. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Greetings and blessings, chat. Thanks again for having another discussion on things that either drive us into purpose or has us in our feelings. Thank you.
Drives us into purpose or has us in our feelings. I love it, brother. Gary, come on, cook.
But to say on the purpose side of the game, because again, it's that book, David Dearden, heavy book. But at the same time, that whole thing of purpose, which again, for those of us who are struggling to find what that purpose may be, the purpose is you.
Keep going.
Again, if you focused on what you had to build and deal with as far as your feelings, your emotions, and everything else that you was going through, this energy that we call ick, we know what the word is. I'll call it bald head for today. But nonetheless.
That's right.
And I say bald head because it's just like anything else. It's naked. It's purposeful. And you can use it for its purpose or not. But again, unless you're feeling something with the bald head.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Going a little bit deeper than the bald head, I'm talking about your brain. But
Right.
if you're feeling it for the first time, which again, at 53, I'm feeling my feelings right now. If I was to judge them as positive or negative, the thing that I'm calling myself throwing out to somebody is in this positive feeling or this negative feeling is only going to boomerang to hit me. So again, enjoy your feelings. Don't judge your feelings. Embrace your feelings. It helps you with your purpose.
I like that. Yes. Yes.
But nonetheless, for those of us who have been, those white knights, yeah, I'm a big. I mean, and also someone that used it.
Come on, I hear you, brother. Come on.
But for those who don't need the island experience that I am enjoying.
Guess what you just did, Pastor John?
Mountain View's in the house.
Mountain View
Greetings
is in the
blessings.
building.
And happy Turkey Day.
Happy
Blessings.
Turkey Day, man. Thank you, brother. We appreciate the call. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. Again, my callers are very astute on the topics that I present to them. And the book that the good brother John from Mountain View, John Gilbreth, the book that he was alluding to is a book by an author by the name of David Dearden. The book is called The Way of the Superior Man, a spiritual guide to mastering the challenges of women, work, and sexual desire. It is already on its 20th anniversary edition. Very powerful work. I want you to listen to this. Earlier, I stated a quote from the book where he talks about putting your purpose ahead of your relationship with your woman. And this isn't to demean or diminish the woman in any way, shape, or form, or to cause her to compete with your purpose. But again, good brother John just said your purpose should be you, meaning the betterment of you, the up-leveling of you, right? The only way to up-level yourself is to challenge your demons. We have a living example. Not a living example, but we have a scriptural example of challenging your own demons. Christ was taken to the mountaintop by Satan and said, hey, man, everything you see before you. Christ was tempted by someone who has lesser power, but still tempted. Everything that I lay out before you is yours if you but submit. Nope, not going to be able to do it. You know who else did that? The Buddha, 500 years before. The Buddha defeated anger, lust, Maya, which is illusion, the illusion of the world. He defeated all of his demons. See, that's a man who is in his purpose. When you are your purpose, right? Again, your woman will submit naturally, just as your subconscious submits to your conscious. This is why all of these people in the New Age world are saying, be careful of how you talk to yourself, right? Because you're talking to you. You're talking to your subconscious. You're talking to the woman in you, the one that can manifest, the feminine aspect of you. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it. These Western thinkers, they were on to something. They just didn't understand what they were on. Oh, the right side of the brain is feminine and thus useless. That's what they said many years ago. The left side of the brain is masculine and thus logical and efficient and effective. Again, we've taken this information and we think by being effective in the world, we can be effective with our girl. Ooh, the world doesn't make you effective with her unless she sold herself to the world. Ugh. Yeesh. This is what David Deida says here. Are y'all with me? Every moment waited is a moment wasted. Apply that to cultivating the purpose of you. Not from an egoic, narcissistic standpoint, but you hear me talk about it on a regular. Sun Tzu, the art of war. The highest form of war is to not have to fight one. Well, you fight a war with yourself every time you go into a relationship unhealed. Because you get triggered. And you think the enemy is them, and they're just a reflection of the enemy within you. Krishnamurti, the enemy is you, not the other. Every moment waited is a moment wasted. David Deida, The Way of the Superior Man. Let's see what he says about women. This is very interesting. The most loving women are the women who will test you the most. She wants you to be your fullest, most magnificent self. She won't settle for anything less. She knows it is true of you. She knows in your deepest heart you are free. You are Shiva, the Sanskrit deity. You are Shiva, right? Anything less than that, she will torment. And as you know, she's quite good at it. See, let me tell you something. A woman in her LDE, little ick energy, which is manipulative, controlling, and petty, and selfish, and greedy. Listen, she'll take from an LDE man if he's got resources, but she will do exactly what David Deida outlined. This is a heavy show tonight. And a lot of men, just let me know if I'm wrong. A lot of men are afraid to have this conversation. about the little d energy within themselves. Do you understand? Why does a shoe, a Jordan, or a Louis Vuitton shoe, or a red bottom shoe, or well, do you understand what I'm saying? Why do things make you feel like the big man? Does that make sense? The way a man penetrates the world should be the same way he penetrates his woman. Not merely for personal gain or pleasure, but to magnify love, openness, and depth. Eesh. Many of us are not living like this. You know that. You know we're not living like this. We're living to impress because we want validation. We didn't get validation as children. We grew up as men with a flaccid spirit. Attila from Houston, Texas. Get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Lord Jesus, help us. Black Jesus, help us.
Wait.
Buddha and Krishna, help us too.
Wait, I called you in too early. We gotta go forward. But when we go, get it together. I know I said a lot. When we come forward, we going to Houston, Texas.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Are you an entrepreneur looking to take your business to new heights? KBLA Talk 1580 is your partner in success. Every day, we celebrate and elevate Black-owned businesses across our community. Our KBLA SMB Marketplace currently features The Cookie Dip, Badass Bakes, Hair Concoction, Higher Education Accreditation Consulting, LACC Radiology Technology Department, and Malik Books. Your business deserves to be heard. Let KBLA Talk 1580 amplify your voice and connect you with our powerful community of listeners. Email smb@kbla1580.com today. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach, transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal, prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey.
Put that on that beat. but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn this TV off, turn this TV off. 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 Ain't no other king in this rap thing, they siblings. Nothing but my children. One shot, they disappearing. I'm in a city with a flag be getting thrown like it was pass interference. Padlock around the building. Crash pulling up an unmarked truck just to play freeze tag. With a bone to pick like it was sea bass. So when I made it out, I made about 50K from a show. Trying to show the ropes before they hung from a rope. I'm prophetic. They only talk about it, how I get it. Only good for saving face, seen the cosmetics. How many heads I gotta take to level my aesthetics? Hurry up and get your muscle up. We up the plyometric. Ran up out of Lux Unessa up the highest metric. The city just made it sweet, you could diabetic. They mouth get full of deceit. Let these cowards tell it. Walk in New Orleans with the etiquette of LA yelling. Second bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it.
5 dangerous habits keeping you spiritually weak. Number 1. Lack of self-reflection. Ignoring introspection prevents spiritual growth. Number 2. Materialistic obsession. Overemphasis on wealth hampers spiritual fulfillment. Number 3. Toxic relationships. Unhealthy connections drain spiritual energy. Number 4. Lack of compassion. Neglecting empathy creates a spiritual void. Number 5. Disregarding mind-body connection. Ignoring the link between physical and spiritual health hinders overall well-being.
I'm playing the album because you don't reach this level of success unless it's true. Man, I sat down with Quincy Jones and he talked about them albums he made with Michael Jackson. Man, listen, Zoe, man, you know, you can't plan for it, you know. God has to be involved, you know. God got to be. Listen, that kid Kendrick is who he is because he's who he is. He's in alignment with his purpose himself. I'm going to get ready to sue because I didn't like what was said in a rap battle. That's LDE all day long. Listen, I'm a relationship guy. I find a relationship everywhere. When I was an A&R guy, I used to tell my rapper friends, guys that had record deals, that I was responsible for curating their album. I said, listen, a lot of you dope MCs, you guys have a toxic relationship with music. What do you mean? I said, you're so focused on being an MC, you don't know how to pick beats that complement your rhymes. Do you understand? KRS-One suffered from that for a long time. He did his own beats. And everybody, without saying it in hip-hop, would be like, man, imagine what KRS-One would sound like if he got with DJ Premier. Well, it happened in '93, and that turned out to be his biggest album, Return of the Boom Bap. Oh, let's get Premier in here. Nas suffers from that sometimes. This is why he got with Hit Boy. And, you know, because remember how Nas starts. Nas starts with all of the greats on his first album, Illmatic. He starts with Pete Rock, Premier, Large Professor, Q-Tip. All of these guys are contributing to that first classic album. I said, the rhyme and the beat is a relationship. Quincy is saying the same thing when he talks, hey, man, we got to start with killer songs, you know. Killer songs. Now, once you find the killer song, you have to perform it to the point where it's believable. And the only way to perform something to where it's to the point that it's believable, it has to be you. It has to be you. Do you understand? Kendrick is not successful because some algorithm made him successful. Did you see them little girls at Inglewood High School? The high school basketball team? My kids were raised in Inglewood. They went to all the Inglewood schools except for high school. Elementary, kindergarten, they went to all them schools. at middle school, did you see Inglewood? Listen, when my son got injured, this is how Inglewood he is. When my son got injured playing basketball for Santa Monica High, the Inglewood basketball team, the head coach, shout out to Roy. Roy called me and said, listen, man, we heard New got hurt. I heard he had his surgery. So guess what we gonna do? He said, we made a spot on our roster for him so he can come here and get rehab for free because we know he going somewhere. This Inglewood, this ain't got nothing to do with it. Do you see how them girls reacted? Them girls went crazy. That's not bot generated. That's because Kendrick is in his purpose. This isn't a show about the Kendrick album. It's a show about how manhood is sorely lacking. You trying to punk your woman into respecting you? If you got to raise your voice, you made the wrong choice. Ooh. Uh-oh. Somebody put it, I got to see that on Instagram. Somebody meme it. You can't punk her into respecting you. It's really that simple, brothers. Do you guys want a real relationship with a real woman? You got to have a real relationship with yourself. You have to start kicking your own tail. You know what your mother did, and you know the excuses you make for her. You know what your daddy did, and you know the excuses you make for him. Come on. Don't act like you wasn't raised in that environment. Let's just be honest. Most of us are weak because most of us don't like ourselves. And if we can't get along with us, we damn sure not going to be able to get along with her. And we keep attracting the version of her that's going to irritate our spirit. That's going to bring conflict and chaos. I know this personally. I've lived it. When we come forward, back to the phone lines. Let's get it.
TV off. Turn his TV off. Turn his TV off. Turn his TV off. Turn his TV off.
It's crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. 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 Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 things you should know from BIN News. TV star Wendy Williams has reportedly taken a turn for the worse in her dementia battle. The former host of The Wendy Williams Show was diagnosed with dementia last year. In recent court memos obtained by USA Today, lawyers for the 60-year-old say she has become cognitively impaired and permanently incapacitated. The Thanksgiving travel rush is in full force. TSA says they expect to screen 18.3 million airline passengers this week through the Monday after Thanksgiving. 3 Americans detained in China are being released in a prisoner exchange. Politico reports the Americans are being traded for unidentified Chinese citizens that were in U.S. custody. And students at the University of Maryland will soon be learning about the way being fat can be viewed as a social justice issue. A course titled Intro to Fat Studies, Fatness, Blackness, and Their Intersections will be offered during the spring semester. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader. If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app
And find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
I keep following the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
That morning chill means truck season!
5 more minutes.
No snoozing. Do it all in a Chevy Colorado or Silverado, including the class-leading range of the Silverado EV.
Talking to me?
Work, play, hauling, off-roading, a Chevy truck can take it all.
Okay, I'm up.
Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 and Colorado pickups when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 24.5%. Plus finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available at least in some of the offers. Take new retail delivery by 9/30/22.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
White diamonds, 2 a.m. she darling. She sick, got they stomach in her comics. What school you went to? Gardner, Compton, Westchester, King, Drew, did we function? Lil, but that dog gave me, that's on pup. All my kids, I'll sock you up. Have you ever took a fade and ran 3 more back to back? Oh, you haven't? Then shut the up and keep it rap. I'm from the land. Don't say you hate LA when you don't travel past the 10. Am I tripping? Yes, I am. Meditate over some money. I see Franklin, I find Pen. I'm from the land. Don't say you hate LA, but live in LA and pretend. My neck on Tarantino, Alejandro Spike Lee. Just know you took the scenic route if you stand by me, stupid.
So fly in this 50 on me, don't die trying it. Know I'm up and down when I slide in this. Beamers and the jets outside in this. West side, get the money, yeah, that's for sure. Streets don't love you, better respect the code. Ain't no sleeping in on Sunday. If it's by the money, then my don't go.
When I walk in,
emotions are strong. Our attachments are strong. How does looking and seeing reduce the strength and power of these emotions? Emotions are strong. Our attachments are strong. How does looking and seeing reduce the strength and power of these emotions? Right? Can we go on with that question? Trying to control, suppress, sublimate emotions and attachments in no way reduce the conflict, does it? Clear? Are we generally aware of our emotions? Are we aware of our attachments? Which say emotions are very strong, attachments are very strong. Are we aware of them? Do you know that you are attached? Once find out, are you attached strongly? And are your emotions so extraordinarily strong that they act? So first, one has to be conscious, aware, know, recognize, see that your emotions are strong.
Do you see what he's walking you through the process of self-observation without judgment? He's saying, if you begin to look at what modeled you, without the desire to sublimate, to push aside, to ignore, to criticize, to judge, to condemn, right? The intensity of their influence will lessen. See, we all been through something, but the thing is, you can't let the something you've been through model and define who you think you are. You're bigger than what you've been through. What you've been through is merely a stepping stone that leads to the discovery of yourself, your purpose, why you're here. You can transcend anything that you survived. Are you listening? You can transcend anything you survived. You survived your childhood, so why do you carry it around with you as a justifier for not showing up for yourself? As a reason for not hitting the benchmark you set for yourself or transcending it. LDE, little ick energy. You expect somebody to love on you with that. To transcend the patterns associated with LDE, individuals must embrace a multidimensional approach to healing. Clinically, therapeutic interventions addressing attachment styles and attachment style wounds will provide a foundation for growth. Psychologically, practices such as self-compassion and self-regulation can foster resilience and emotional maturity. Spiritually, integrating shadow work, self-individuation, with contemplative practices such as meditation or breath work nurtures a deeper connection to one's inner self. Philosophically speaking, the teachings of thinkers like Sun Tzu remind us of the importance of inner mastery. The greatest victory, he writes, is that which requires no battle. Self-compassion, self-empathy, looking at those unrequited wounds with empathy, without judgment, without condemnation, will grow you up spiritually. You will have a spiritual erection. You won't be walking around spiritually flaccid with LDE, little ick energy, right? Cultivating inner peace rather than seeking external validation enables individuals to engage with others from a place of wholeness. Are y'all ready to do that kind of work, brothers? The sister can't save you if you haven't saved yourself. She can only produce more of what's already in you. I'm telling you this as a man who's walked this walk. Do you understand? She can only amplify what you supply. Does that make sense? When I come forward, I'm going to go to the phone lines and we're going to talk to the people all the way out.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Hey, LA, it's time to step up and be a climate change hero. Go Metro and help us shape a better future for all Angelinos. From enhancing our diverse communities to preserving our planet, Metro is dedicated to making a positive impact with every ride. Start your journey at metro.net.
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, visit taxclosure.org to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. KBLA.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Aye. What? Look. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. Huh? They ain't talking about nothing. Aye. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. Huh? They ain't talking about nothing. Pickable, I just put them bookers in my chain. Pickable, 80 pointers like a Kobe game. Pickable, 7.62s I make them plain. Pickable, popping out, you better not smell my name. Pickable, put 2 foreigns on a 405. Pickable, catchy pepper if I'm doing pasta. Pickable, why you acting tough on IG Live? Pickable, you know my little off they rocker. Pickable, surprise, this that chicken cheese. Pickable, let me FaceTime my
I want to talk to you about this idea of unconditional confidence. In that, I think most people, they hear a word like that, unconditional confidence, and they think like, oh yeah, sure, that's a fantasy, or that's a lot of bravado if I was to be unconditionally confident. I mean, there's so many things that happen that I don't feel confident about. Right. So maybe you can unpack the term a little bit, what you mean by it.
Well, the first thing is that the confidence I'm referring to is somewhat a synonym of gentleness to oneself. That might seem a strange way to put it, but this is based on the teachings of Trungpa Rinpoche. He talked a lot about confidence, and he was unequivocal that the root of confidence was gentleness to oneself. So I'm going to unpack it from that point of view. So if we're talking about developing unconditional confidence, where would that confidence come from? So I'm saying it comes from unconditional friendliness with oneself. So the unconditional part has to do with being brave enough and courageous enough to stick with yourself through thick and thin. And by that,
being brave enough and courageous enough to stick with yourself through thick and thin. That's Pema Chodron. You know, I'm a pull from so many philosophers and psychologists and spiritualists. Man, we're trying to kill this mandemic. It's a mandemic out here. That's the name of our topic tonight, the mandemic. LDE mandemic. All right, Attila from Houston, Texas, get in here. Make it work. Make it make sense. Talk to me.
You said make it make sense.
Make it all make sense.
Sound pretty clear to me.
Make it all make sense to me. Attila, was I off? Am I off? The brothers is kind of quiet tonight.
Well, why wouldn't they be?
Ooh.
Who's going to be like, oh, I have LDE? Nobody's going to admit that.
I did.
But I will say.
I did. I said there were times in my life I suffered from it. Come on.
But times in your life is not the same thing as current.
No. It's not.
Right. So I will be quiet too. I ain't mad at them. But I'll say this.
I have overcome.
I made a little list.
I have overcome spiritual ED. I've overcome it. Yes. Go ahead. Finish.
Nice. Overcome the Lord, we on the TMI side of the game tonight, I suppose. But I will say, there's 4 things that I added to my list of things that I feel exemplify. And you kind of covered one of them, the LDE. One of them being lack of keen discernment. You know, I can't say the other word. The only time you regulate your emotions is in the bedroom. It's a problem. Let's continue. Pedestalization. I hear a lot of men complaining about women in the church, but they had no problem gobbling up the red pill nonsense and nignoggery that is social media. So I find that interesting. The third thing, competition with others for validation. If you are that dude, that person, that woman, whatever, there is no competition.
Right.
So if you're scratching and surviving for relevance, that's a problem.
Scratching and surviving for relevance. Jeez, go ahead.
And we
I'm
do
listening.
that in many ways, right? Even in our individual relationships. And I think that's part of the reason why the LDE topic could be triggering, because what does it look like to be at the top of your game in the boardroom and at the bottom in your home? Not very nice, right? It's kind of uncomfortable. It's kind of uncomfortable. And if you're used to throwing your weight around in certain areas of your life, but yet your relationships are trash, which is the foundation of everything else, what do you think is going to happen? So there's that. And the last thing that I tend to look for is chameleon-like behaviors.
Chameleon. Come on, LDEers. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Right. So a decentered self to me means no self, and that is a problem. Not saying that you should be the center of, everything, but I do think it's important to be centered within yourself and have a certain level of respect and esteem. And so it kind of shows up as lacking if you're able to blend into various environments with there's no pushback. And so I think at a certain point, yes, you want to be part of a quote unquote team, or you want to show that you have a certain level of loyalty. But I think the other side of that, though, too, is your individuality. So to me, if a man is lacking that, or a woman for that matter, that's LDE. Who are you?
Right. 100% agree.
And why do I have to ask? Right? That's certain things I should just see, right?
Right.
It's like when people say, I'm a good person. You don't have to say that.
You ain't got to declare it. I should be able to feel it. Right.
Absolutely. And don't get me wrong, people's perspectives play a role in that, right? Whatever wounds they have, they might not perceive you as that. But if you believe that you are that and you're exemplifying that in your actions, you don't have to say it. Your presence precedes you. So that's all I got.
I love it. Guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building. Let's keep it going. Hustle. Miami, Florida. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
So I'm going to be accountable as men often do.
Come on.
I come from an AP background, so that would be considered more so on the feminine LDE side of things. But thankfully, I'm a Leo. So that kind of balanced things out. You know what I mean? I gave it a lot of thought, if you really think about how that works. But I also gave some thought to what is the female equivalent to LDE? Is it DVE? Would it be your IV energy? I don't know.
No. As we set up the show earlier, LDE is non-gender specific. Everybody can have that. Just like some men say women have BDE. Big ick energy, you're too masculine, you're too assertive, you too this or that. But women can also have LDE, little ick energy.
But
go ahead.
Yeah, you stepping on my joke, brother. I said DVE, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to. We can't describe it right now. Go ahead.
No. The point is, I believe masculinity is women's form of LDE.
When they try to step too far into our lane is what you're saying.
That would be the equivalent, because when men act feminine, it's considered LDE. So when women act masculine, that's the equivalent. You see?
I got you. I'm riding right with you. Let's go.
Yeah, everybody need to just stay in their lane, man. That's all I had, brothers. I wanted to be accountable, and like I said, I gave that some thought to the other side of things.
And you said you've been in this energy before. How'd you get out?
Pain.
I like that. Pain is the pathway.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
That's fire,
and then,
bro.
Like accountability as well. That's the masculine thing to do, I think. And I've helped guide others. And you learn a lot through teaching.
Absolutely.
So I'll also add that. Yeah.
Well, teaching and being a student, it happens simultaneously. Absolutely. Hey, guess
Can
what
I say
you?
this real
Yes,
quick, though,
yes,
brother?
yes, yes, yes,
'Cause
yes.
just, I don't want to be harsh on the women, man, because I'm going to tell you right now, being in the right space, I've met some beautiful sisters, man, that got that grace to them.
Mm-hmm.
And if anything, I could just ask the women, just find your grace. That speaks to us.
Are you saying we should do a topic on grace?
Bruh.
Hey, shall we? All right. Thank you, Hustle. That's one of our topics for next week. Hey, man, I appreciate you. You brought Dade County in the building. We appreciate the call. Let me get my final caller up in here, Jerry from Beverly Hills. Jerry, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, hi. Can dementia patients have a viable relationship?
I would say yes. Why not? Are you a dementia patient?
Well, I'm doing half okay. It's a long story. I'm half okay, I think. I hope.
You're half okay. Got it. Well, let's pray that you get all the way back. How about that?
Sounds good.
Hey, well, I appreciate you hanging on the line, and thank you so much for calling the VOR. Jerry, you're always welcome. You know that, right?
Thank you.
All right, good brother. All right. Listen, the voice of reason, you know me. I like to start conversations that cause us to think. If we're not thinking, we're not living. If we're not living, I don't know what we're doing. We dead? Yeah, I think we're dead. But the whole point of tonight's conversation was to say, you know, we should take relationships a little bit more seriously. Again, they reveal us to us. The parts of us that we're uncomfortable with, right? The parts of us that we don't like to venture into. Every woman who is in her right spirit, I'm not going to say her right mind, I'm going to say if she's in this healing process, man, she could be a gift, right? She can be a gift to you. Listen to how David Deida writes it. You must learn, or you must listen to your woman more as an oracle than as an advisor. Listen as an oracle. Why does he say that? Because he's talking about her intuitive capabilities, her spiritual insights, her discernment abilities. Now, I give the caveat, she has to be working on her healing, right? She has to be working on her healing. She can't advise you to be you, right? But she can see things in your process that you might not be looking at it from that level. And I think when you have a woman who has engaged her shadow and engaged the process of individuation, man, she's going to be a great asset to your life, to your spirit. Listen, I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. Let's continue it out in the streets when you see me. All right? I'll see y'all next week with another slew of slappers. Zoe Williams, Voice of Reason. I'm out.
I've been battling myself, trying to navigate the real and fake, cynical about the judgment day. I did past life progression last year when it me up, reincarnated on this earth for 100+. Body after body, lesson after lesson. Let's take it back to Michigan in 1947. My father kicked me out the house cause I wouldn't listen to him. I didn't care about his influence, only loved what I was doing. Gifted as a musician, I play guitar on the grand level. The most talented where I'm from.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. A ceasefire has taken effect between Israel and Hezbollah militants in Lebanon. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu